Good morning. I was going to say to you that we were doing this in one of the rare breaks in the wind, and as soon as we got the camera out, it started getting windy again, so excuse the wind.
But it's not raining.
Shh, don't tell it. Anyway.
A brief respite.
Aye. In this week's video, we're going to get blown over with the wind again. And it's blown, but the thoughts that I had in my mind just got blew out my ear there. Yeah, in this week's video, we are going to
be installing the diesel heater.
There we go. We're going to install the diesel heater. We are going to review some new security that we got and talk through why. We will be cleaning the new rib and doing a few minor repairs on it. And we'll be talking through the pros and cons of a small scuba set that we bought. What else?
That was it, wasn't it?
That was it.
I think that was it.
So let's get into this week's video and hopefully you enjoy. Now, the diesel heater finally came. Was it a Vivor one? It was mentioned in last week's comments that Vivor was pretty decent, so I took your advice and I went away and ordered this one. It's supposed to be an 8 kilowatt heater, and I ordered the one with the 10 litre fuel tank in it. This just affixes to a wall or something, so hopefully this should give us at least a day's worth of fuel at a time, but we'll see how it goes. We've got some fuel line, good. Instructions. We got one of these wee mufflers with it, but I actually got an exhaust for it, a through hull one. As I said, I ordered this one separately. You go through the hull and they'll point down the way like that. Oh. And the steel exhaust pipe just goes into the back there. I think I've got a case of dropsy today. And it comes with the gaskets and mounting plates. So that's really handy. Aye, I'm going to put this, I'm going to build it, or install it, that's the word I was looking for. I'm going to install it in the rear battery compartment, so this will just come straight out the back, and it'll be quite high, so there won't be any water gets into it, or that's the theory anyway. So this, I might actually use the muffler just to silence it. This is the exhaust pipe here, it's quite short, so I'll use the muffler and hopefully the muffler will go straight onto the through hull. Of course not, why would it? Okay. So I'll have to put a join on it. Luckily I already have quite a lot of this from last year, so I can put a join on it so that I can get the muffler on as well, just to keep it quiet. But I'm glad to see that's fitting on, and it's nice and tight. So, aye, happy days. Now this is something I wasn't expecting. This is insulation for the exhaust pipe. And as I said, I wasn't actually expecting it, because I went away and bought a roll of the tape that you wrap around the exhaust pipe, because I didn't want too much heat. Although it will be quite handy if there's a bit of heat in there, because the lithium batteries will be going in the same compartment, so it will keep them warm and I won't have any problems with them charging and things like that. Now, I don't know how much you hear the wind just now. I hope it's not too much, but that's it starting to kick off, and I think from now for the next 36 hours we're going to get absolutely battered by this, whatever storm it's called this time. We've got a bracket, and this is the end pipe for the breather. Now I'll just I think I'm going to keep the breather internal. I don't want water and damp air getting into it, because it makes the carbon build up a lot worse. I found that last year with the other diesel heaters. So I'm going to put this internal, and it will just recirculate warm air. And then this is the warm air outlet pipe. As it happens, I've got a hole saw to fit that. As we said last week, we had, I think, 3 running at one point, so I've already got a lot of the ancillary stuff that you need for them. And this is the vent here, just goes on like that. We're just going to bring it through the back berth and let it heat up the whole place from there. And various things like Jubilee clips, zip ties, and this is the rubber bracket for the fuel pump. And they're rubber because it takes away the vibration a lot, because they are quite noisy, these wee fuel pumps. And this here is the fuel pump. And something I learned last year is they'll quite often pre-fill it so that it doesn't corrode while it's waiting in storage. So I'm really happy to see that there's caps on that, and I can see there's diesel inside that. I don't know if you can see the yellow colour, but this seems to be an upgraded version from the ones I was using last year. The ones I was using last year were much bigger, and I was getting constant problems with them, because on start up they were pulling, was it 200 watts or something. This is supposed to be, what is it, 40 I think. I think it says on the it says on the box here that it pulls 40 watts. I imagine it'll pull more on start up. They always do. But the ones I was using last year were pulling 230, 240, and 12 volt batteries just weren't enough. And it's strange because I had a bank of 800 amp hours and it still wasn't enough. I kept on getting error codes coming up and things like that. Anyway, here's hoping this one's better. Eventually last year I had to upgrade these wires and put them into the plug, because the thin ones just weren't drawing enough watts to start the fuel pumps. Anyway, that's the wiring loom there for it. a backing plate. They're handy because you can draw the holes for the board that you're going to put it on, and that wee one there's for the fuel pump. So I'm assuming this is the exhaust and this is the inlet and the fuel pump. This is the wee control panel for it and the remote control. Well, it definitely says 40 watts on here, which is really handy. Because if you're drawing too much, as I said, the batteries just can't cope. And you get too much of a drop straight away, and it used to bring up error code after error code. It used to drive me crazy. It's got, I don't know if you can see on here, it says on it 8 kilowatt heater. So hopefully this one's more honest than the ones I bought last year. Those were supposed to be 8 kilowatt ones, and I bought a 5 kilowatt and they put out the exact same amount of heat. The motors got the same heat, the exhausts were the same heat and everything. I think the ones I bought, I think it was just a gimmick, to be honest. But this one's looking a lot better already. So, aye. Happy days. I'm going to crack on and start preparing to get this built and get it installed. Hopefully it doesn't rain too much, because I'm going to be outside doing it, and I'll be leaning over the transom into the back box to put shelves and things in and get this all set up. Now, excuse the wind noise that seems to be howling for the heavens just now. I'm going to use this old bit of board here. It's actually for mica, so it's meant for showers and things, which will be good for that locker because it's quite damp. So I'm just going to cut the size just now, just with a jigsaw, and then I'll get the plate measured up as well. It's a 51 by 30. So then we'll get the jigsaw fired up. I might use a nice new blade for it. Just make sure I've got enough length here. Yep, good. think this is about the roughest I've ever seen it here. We're getting quite a few storms this winter, I think. This is a brand new Formica, so it's still got the plastic covering on it, and the pen doesn't always draw. So I'll get that taken off before I put it in, and then I'll paint the edges just in case, and it should do quite a while. I keep on looking at the windows here just to check that I'm not moving or anything, but it seems to be okay just now. Because the back part of the compartment on the hull is curved, I'm just going to have to take a wee nick out this corner here just to let it sit in. Right, we're going to offer it up again and see if that fits this time. Now, I'm just offering it up to make sure that everything fits. Aye. So we've got 4 bolts and the hole for the fuel line. So I'll have a look in here and see if I can find the washers and the bolts for it. I'm not going to clamp this or tighten it down too much just now. I just want to offer it up and get all the other measurements off it. Now, there we go. So that's the basic size of it. I can now go out and measure for things like exhausts and the inlet pipe or the outlet for the hot air to come through and things like that. And then I can go drilling or even jigsawing, one of the three. I'm going to take this out and I'm going to offer it up just now and hope that it fits. Now this here is where I'm going to put it. If you see this here, that's for a shelf. So I'm going to measure that up and I'm going to put the heater in there. It's going to be quite difficult to film, so I'll see what I can do, but I think it's going to be quite difficult to film. So I might have to just do a bit and then come back in and then do a bit and come back in. As you can see, the weather's really no want to comply just now, but hey, we'll do it anyway. Now that's going to fit in there like that, and then the exhaust will come out below it, and the outlet for the heat will come through here, and that will go straight into the back berth. So I think that's going to work. Happy at that. You know, I really dislike cutting holes in the boat, but I think in this case it's kind of necessary. So, if I cut it there, and then this one, excuse my crude, that's not even drawn. Anyway, okay, I'm going to take this out of here now, give me space. Now I've got the small one for the small hole and the bigger one for the big hole. And then once I've got the small one done, I'll match up the exhaust and I'll drill the holes for the bolts. Now, let's see what I can do here. Try not to wreck the boat. Right, that's one. That wind is just relentless today. Excuse me. There we go. Now then, let's just see if they all marry up with each other. Okay, I might have to enlarge this slightly with the jigsaw, but that one works fine. Good. Now I think I'm going to have to stand down in there just to get this next bit. Oh, this is going to be fun. That's a good bit above the water line, so I'm happy with that. That's that part done. As I said, I might have to enlarge that with the jigsaw, just to let that pipe through easily. But I'll go get the pipe and I'll see if I can feed it through just now. If I can get back out here. Let's not lose this. It's going to need enlarged a bit. Must be a bigger vent hole than the last one. Okay, so it's going to need enlarged. I will. I'll get the jigsaw and I'll cut it out, and then we'll start fitting things up a bit better. Now I'm going to have to crawl back into that berth and pull that through now. So I'll get that done and then come back in. Free panel pin. Right, I've got everything set up. I'm using my own tank just now. I never filmed most of it because I spent the best part of an hour down in there doing that exhaust. I had to end up replacing all 3 bolts on it because as soon as I tried to tighten it up enough to stop to make a seal, the wee nuts just threaded on it. So I had to bore it all again and put my own nuts and bolts in it. But anyway, all this cable is going to get tidied up, and I'm going to sort the length of the fuel hose. But it's on just now. It's no heating yet because I think I've got to prime it. I'm actually going to read the instructions just to make sure. But aye, I'll read the instructions and we'll come back in. Right, I've read the instructions and it says hold that for 3 seconds. And now that's it starting to pump it. There's a lot of hose, so it's got a lot to pump. That's the fuel starting to come through now. It does have a long way to go. I'll definitely shorten that hose. There's no need for it to be that long. I've got the inline fuel filter in there as well to go through, so it will need to fill that too. But I can always manually pump it again. Okay, that's primed through now. Well, it seems to be doing something. Well, it seems to be running. As I said, it's needing a tidy up, and that fuel hose is it's needing shortened. I'll go down to the other side and I'll see if I can see the exhaust. Now that's it just priming and heating up the now, and it's went from 12.4 to 11.8. So hopefully it doesn't do that too long. The battery's quite low. That's it jumped up to 12.1. So I'll go out and I'll see what it's doing just now. Wow, that's amazing. I can actually feel the heat difference in that already. I think that's going to make a huge difference for us. This berth is just crammed full of tools and things now, so this is the berth that we're now working on. But we will have to get in and get it tidied up. Well, I've had it running for about 5 minutes now, and it's went from 8.2 to 13.7. So I would say that's a success. It took me most of the day to get it done because of the wind and rain and things, but I think it was worth it. We had a wee bit of an incident last week, and it's caused us to buy more CCTV. There's been a few times that our boat's been kind of messed about with a little, but this time it was unhooked from the mooring buoy, and as a result it sustained some damage. Now the CCTV that I've got on board, it's okay, but it's the kind of stuff that goes to a hard drive rather than something that I can see straight away. So just out of coincidence we were watching Sailing Seabird and they were doing a link for that reolink cameras. So we actually went on and bought some CCTV through them as well, and I'll just take you through it just now. We are not affiliated or sponsored by reolink or anything like that. We just happened to see it and thought, oh, we're looking for CCTV just now, so we'll get it through their affiliate link. So aye, let's have a look at it. Now it came in 2 boxes, and as you can see I've not even opened them yet, but the reason that I ordered this one is apparently it's really good. You get notifications on your phone if there's any incidents or anything, and you can see in colour even at night time, which is really good. So aye, I don't want to speculate what happened with the boat or anything like that, but it had 2 clips on it, on 2 ropes, on 2 different shackles, and both of them mysteriously managed to undo themselves. I've got the CCTV from it, we've downloaded it, and we won't go into any of that just now. But aye, I've got this, and if it's any good, I may actually buy another one. I think it was about £138 with the 5% discount from Sailing Seabird. So this looks like the SIM card for it and the instructions, which I'll definitely read, honest. Ooh, you even get a free sticker with it. Several free stickers. It's almost as if they want to advertise. Anyway, what we already have is CCTV and operation stickers, just to let anybody know that we are actually recording. So aye, the SIM card for it, because you can actually log into it from your phone and see what's happening there, which will actually be really handy for us as well because of the constant winds. I drive the kind of, I think it's about 8 miles from the house to the boat and back, and on really windy days I'll drive that 4 times a day just to check on the boat. So this should be a lot easier. I can just log in and look at everything, make sure everything's okay on the boat, and save myself 30-40 miles per day. This looks like the antenna for it. Actually quite cool.
Right. So you can direct that.
Aye. To get the best signal. Now then, this is the camera. It'll hang upside down, and you can actually move it remotely to see everything that's going on round about. This bit here will actually turn and move, and as you can see, it's 4K, which is better than our current setup at 1080p. So if it's as good as build, as I said, I'll end up getting another one just to have a couple on the boat. So this here looks like the bracket for it. It just screws on and then clips into here. And to screw it on, you just take that off there, and it's just an Allen key. You fit it on here like that, onto the bracket, and then the bracket goes onto wherever you're going to have it hanging. Now I'll just set that there like that. An Allen key and fixings. A strap, I imagine, for fixing to a pole or something. Another bracket. And a charging cable. Now this one actually comes with a solar panel. So it's pretty much self-sufficient, even in the dull conditions of winter up here. It will still keep itself charged up. There's just more instructions, is it? Aye, more instructions here. And a barcode. It's a template for the actual mount. That'll be handy, although I'm going to affix it to the aluminium pole at the back of the boat, because that can see all the way across the boat. So that'll plug straight into that power socket there, and you'll be able to, as I said, it'll make it self-sufficient. It actually looks quite robust, quite strong, which is necessary for the conditions on a boat, especially up here with the constant 90-mile-an-hour winds and things like that. As I said, we're not sponsored or anything like that, but we'll keep you updated, and because we're not sponsored, we can give you unbiased reports. If it's good, it's good. I mean, anybody that watches your channel already knows that if something's good, I'll give it praise. If it's bad, I'll tell you it's bad. So, and this looks like the mounting bracket for the solar panel. You got another strap here, and I imagine this goes in to that and into this, so it takes it from a type C to one of the other sizes, and then once you've got that plugged in, you just slip that over the top and it keeps it waterproof. And this has got a good waterproof covering on it as well. That's aluminium, so aluminium to aluminium will go fine. We won't get any galvanic corrosion or anything like that off it. But anyway, it's a real shame that we've got to do things like this, but you know, it is what it is.
And we want to keep our boat secure.
Aye, absolutely. So this will allow it to turn in all directions to get the best light, to get the most power out of it. So far it's looking like a very good kit, and from the pictures I've seen online with Sailing Seabird and things like that, the video quality is very, very good. So aye, we will keep you updated, and I'm sure you'll see me installing it in the next video. Aye, it's unfortunate that we've got to go to those measures to protect the boat, but it is what it is. And as I said, this looks really good quality. It's got infrared and things so it can see at night. So we'll keep you updated and let you know how it goes, and as I said, we'll see the install in next week's video. With us doing the mooring block over the last wee while, I was looking for something, just a basic scuba setup. I don't need anything massive, I don't need a full professional set or a rebreather or anything like that. I was literally needing something that was just a wee step up from snorkeling, because when I go to put the block down, I've got the 30mm chain that I've got to attach to the block on the seabed. Now it'll only be, I think at low tide it'll be about 5 to 8 metres down, so it's not a huge depth. So I went away and I was looking at surface fed systems that were £800–900, and they're definitely something I'm going to get. There was a few that have been seen on other YouTube channels and things, and I thought they're a really good idea, but with all the expense we've got just now, I opted for something that was a wee bit cheaper. And I went onto Amazon and came across these wee dive cylinders. They're only 1 litre, and they've got a pump and things like that with them, and a regulator and things, and I think it was about £250, which is nothing really for a dive setup. I thought I would give it a try, and I think it's going to be perfect for me, but I have mixed thoughts about it for other people, and we'll just cut in and have a look at it and I'll show you why. Now this is the kit here. It comes in a handy wee carry case. if I can get it open. It's got a small dry bag here. Not 100% sure what that's for, maybe just for carrying some bits and pieces. It's got the main tank. As I said, it's a 1 litre tank, and it is, in fairness, it is made to specifications. And it was, you've got your date here, July 2025. So it's new and it's up to date. As you can see, it's got a cap on it here. That just stops any dust or detritus getting inside it. One of the things that I will say about this kit, if you've never done scuba or diving before, this might not be the one for you. It's got everything I need here. Allegedly, it will do kind of anywhere between 10 and 15 minutes on the seabed at the depths I'm wanting, because that 1 litre tank will take 85 litres of air. It's not an oxygen tank, you pump it directly from the air that you're breathing round about you. The description on Amazon is a bit vague, and it mentions compressed air, compressed oxygen. It's definitely not oxygen. This pump here just takes the air from where we are. So it takes 1 litre and it gets compressed into 85, or 85 litres gets compressed into 1 litre. Which, as I said, that's absolutely perfect for me. I've got a fair bit of experience diving, not so much recently, but I certainly know enough to know what I'm looking at. This here I thought might be the instructions. Actually, it's not. And this is the reason why I'm saying it might not be for newcomers or newbies. It's a good manual. It tells you how to maintain the pump. It tells you how to assemble the pump, but it makes no mention of the rest of it.
So for someone like me who's never scuba dived, it's not helpful at all.
No. As I said, read it. It'll allow you to maintain the pump and keep it in good condition, but it's for the pump only. You've got the regulator here. Now I've had this pumped up and I've had the regulator working, and you've got your tester here, and the regulator works fine. This screws on to the top of the bottle here. You've got to be kind of careful with it. The last thing you want is it getting cross-threaded. That knocking noise is just my ring hitting off the bottle. As you can see, it's a really deep thread, so it's built to hold the pressure. And there's a gasket ring, or a seal, on the top of it. I'm just going to do it this way so that it doesn't keep on banging like that. Now, as I said, there are no instructions whatsoever for this setup. So if you didn't know what you were doing, what I would say to you is, please bear in mind that that is a very, very highly pressurised container. It goes up, in the green there, it goes up to 200 psi, or pounds per square inch.
Trying to get it to focus.
You don't really have to get it. Between the green and the yellow there is 200 psi, with a maximum there of 300 psi. If you bear in mind that a car tyre will go up to 40, 50, maybe even 60 psi. So there is a huge amount of pressure in this, which means there's a huge amount of potential energy stored in this. If you do it wrong or rupture the bottle or something like that, it will go with quite a bang. Now, there is a bit here for a spanner so that you can tighten it properly. Although what I found was if I tried to put the spanner in here, it was getting filled by this gauge, and on the other side you've got the fill valve there. Now the fill valve it's looking good. It's got a filter on it so that nothing gets inside it, because the last thing you want to do is breathe in dust when you're underwater. So for me, it works quite well. I'll put a small harness on my belt, and I'll just have this, and I'll be using the snorkel mostly, but when I'm down on the seabed and I just need a few breaths of air, I can grab this. So it absolutely does what it says it's supposed to do. But as I said, for somebody that's brand new to it, and children can buy this technically, I wouldn't recommend it for children or novices. This is for filling other bottles. And I'll just put that there, and I'll get the pump out. It's just like a stirrup pump. These fold out here like this. You have a gauge on it here again, and it's in PSI and a bar. So it's a good pump. It's a PCP pump, and it's got the regulator, and this just clips straight on, just like an air hose. So if you're used to diving, you'll know exactly what this does. When I got it, this wasn't screwed in. I've just put the seal on it, screwed it in, tightened it down, and it's as easy. I'm saying it's easy. I'll just put that down. It's as easy as standing on the stirrups and pumping it. So, pretty self-explanatory. And then there's a release valve in the back here. This here's just a release valve. So if you feel that you're getting too much pressure and things, that will just let it off gas. The thing I've found with this, and the reason I'm not going to keep it as the main source of air pressure, is that you will literally need to pump that a couple of thousand times just to get it up to pressure. I had a quick try of it, and I pumped it 300 times. Pumped it 300 times, and it got just to the start of the green at 300 pumps. So it takes quite a bit of pumping, so it might be an idea to pump it beforehand. What I'm doing is you can buy small PCP compressors, 12 volt compressors, that will do up to 300 PSI. So I'm going to buy one of them, and allegedly it even takes them 10 minutes to pump it up. So I'm going to buy a spare bottle or two, and I'm going to buy a PCP 12 volt pump, and I'll be able to use it for the mooring, and then I'll be able to use it for hunting lobsters and scallops and things, and bringing you loads and loads of great footage and chasing fish up and down and things like that. I might be able to use it for spear fishing as well. I've not even opened this, but another part that you get with the kit is a mask. It's apparently tempered glass, which is really good, because a lot of these masks are plastic. So I mean, it definitely seems like glass. Whether it's any good or not, I'm not sure. I'll give it a try when I'm in the water. I find because I've got a moustache, quite a lot of these, I've got to put Vaseline on my top lip just to get these to seal properly, or you get a nose full of water. But it comes with that. Now I'm just going to take this and put it to the side. Now you get more seals with it in the bag, and then another bag with even more seals. Again, I know what these are for, but there is nothing saying to me what that one's for. If you can read Chinese, that's just telling you the manufacturer and the production date, which is blank. And then you've got your filters and your seal again. And this here's just like silica gel to keep the filters dry. But as I said, if you're new to this, or a child, this might not be the setup for you. As I said, that's highly pressurised gas. And I would only do it if you've had proper training, if you know what you're doing, or if you're going to take it to somebody that's properly going to train you to do it. There was quite a few reviews from professional divers on this product that were getting quite upset that the description was inaccurate and that there was no instructions. And I completely agree with that. If that regulator was to malfunction somehow and shoot 200 psi air into your lungs, it would rupture your lungs. Or if you were to do it wrong, as I said, that bottle could go with a bang. So for me, it's going to be a fantastic wee kit because I know a bit of what I'm doing, certainly enough for to be capable with this, and certainly enough to be safe with this. But if you don't have any experience, if you don't have the appropriate training, as I said, this is not one for you. You might be better with one of the more expensive pumps that sit on the top of the water, and you've just got a long hose down to your regulator. But for us, this is going to be fantastic. It's a small kit. I can chuck it in the back of the car, throw it on the dinghy, and stow it somewhere in the boat. And we can anchor, and I can go diving for scallops, for lobsters, or spearfishing. We intend to go spearfishing off Skye next year, and there's a lot of really good pollock and things in Skye. So, I think this will be really good for us. But, as I said, if you're not sure what you're doing with this kit, don't mess with it. It's certainly not a toy. But we'll let you know how it goes. I think with the getting that just to touch the green, what was it, 32 breaths I got from it?
Something like that.
I got 32 full deep breaths, and that was 300 pumps. So it's definitely worth buying an electric pump, I think.
And that way we can get the spare bottles filled while you're using
Exactly.
whichever one you're using.
Aye. I mean, to fill the bottle, it's relatively easy. I glossed over this when I said it's for filling from a big bottle. What you do is you'll put the big bottle in here, and you'll attach this up to here, and you'll be able to fill up from a big dive bottle. So you just stick it on there, and you've got your big dive bottle in here, and it'll fill, and then you just fill it to your pressure here, and then you stop it. So there is plenty of kit here to do what you need to do. I find it very lacking in instructions for people that don't know what they're doing. But aye, it's going to be perfect for us. I think it's really going help us take you on adventures and let you see a lot of the other stuff that we do. You know, underneath cleaning the boat, Sally and Lily, you know, learning to chase scallops and things like that. So aye, I think it's going to be fantastic for us, but maybe no for a beginner. I think we're going to end the video there this week. We got quite a few bits and pieces done, and quite a few bits and pieces delivered that we can crack on with and get some other projects finished. The boat is moving along quite well. As I said, the next video, I think we're definitely going to get the CCTV up. We have the footage from before, so aye, I think the less said about that the better. But aye, thank you very much for watching the video. If you enjoyed, if you wouldn't mind, like, share and subscribe. And thank you very, very much to our Patreons and our coffee givers. We really appreciate it. It really helps us out.
And it's helping us grow.
Aye, it's helping us grow. The channel is actually growing really, really well. We're really pleased with that. And if you would like to help the Patreon grow, the link will be in the description. We are aiming to get it so that you will get a video the week before on Patreon. So you would kind of get next week's video this week type thing. So that's what we're working towards. So aye, watch this space, and thank you very much for watching. Take care.
And we'll see you next time.